Hear you singing, Brandon. I just want to let you know. Better after a while. That is my guest that's here today. We're the Light 103.9 Triangle's inspiration station inside the Light Lunch. Brandon Camphor, I tell you, you can sing a little bit. You do know that, right?
Thank you. You're making me a little shy over here.
You
Thank you,
got an
Melissa. That means a lot. Thank you
instrument.
so much. I hope the listeners enjoyed that after a while.
So tell us a little bit about it. I hear and I've read that there is a unique story behind that song. You wrote it and
Yes.
you sing it.
Yes. So I lived in New York for 9 years. I was there with the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, who I think you played earlier. And I don't currently live there, but when I was visiting recently in last November, I was riding the subway and I just remember New York is a melting pot for so many different types of people. And on this subway at this particular time, I was looking around the train and you just saw so many things represented. There was people in suits coming from business meetings. There were homeless people panhandling for money. There were people looking like they just came from the club. And I just looked around and had this thought. I just was like, I wonder, is anybody thinking about Jesus? And that was really what I thought about. And my producer Casey Knight sent me this track, and I happened to be playing it at this time because I was trying to think what do I want to write about, and the old school vibe, it made me think of Motown, and I
Right.
landed on
Yeah.
if right now I could put something into the earth. I'm all for good music, but I want something that provokes people to think about Jesus and even be creative of how we get there. When you think of the problems of this world, hopefully you think also about the things that will make it better. And that's where this song inspiration came from.
You just made me think of, the saying, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, my soul cries out, yes, yes.
Now, Melissa, you've been a lot of things today. Now you're a preacher. Come on now.
Deep down, hey, by title too. Yeah, all of that.
Yes, indeed.
But we are anointed with everything that God has given us.
Yes.
But I mentioned earlier, and I told everybody, they're like, who's Brandon Camphor? Well, you guys know him. For one thing, we played Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, which you were a part of that as well. But
Yes.
your group, One Way.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that kind of journey from being with the group and now on your own.
Yes. So shout out to my group, Brandon Camphor and One Way, BC One Way. Some people know us as. We've been a group for almost 20 years, went to high school together, and have been on an incredible journey, growing together in our faith, in the ministry, and in our music career. And we were blessed last year to win our first Stellar Award.
Yes.
We are 2025 Stellar Award winners.
Me too.
Yes, come on. We
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
good company. And at the time of the nomination, just quickly sharing, we were all beginning to venture out into our own things. One of our group members, she just got married, Julia. She was pregnant with her son. I was starting my solo venture, and we all had different focuses, and we didn't expect to get the nomination that year, nor even the award.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
now I started a journey while God kind of bring me back to another one. So they're still both happening simultaneously, but I'm very happy to be able to express other things God has given me at this time, like this song After a While.
So much more in store for you. So as we kind of wrap up here, and if y'all want to see the entire interview, Brandon and I we've been talking way before we got on the air, and we're going to continue to talk. So check us out on social media, on Instagram and Facebook at The Light NC. Let everyone know how we can support you, how we can pick up your project, and how we can follow you.
Yes, thank you. Everyone, Brandon Camphor is the name. The song is called After a While. It's on every digital platform. You can follow on Instagram at Brand, BRAN, Camphor, CAMPHOR, or you can follow the group BC, the number One Way. And there's a lot more coming your way. So get locked in, get plugged in. Lots of visuals on YouTube. Let's stay connected.
I love stories where you can picture what's going on. So you talking about you being in the subway and seeing the panhandler and this, that. I mean, you could actually see it.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the revelation of what God is giving you as you're seeing in the song. It just makes the song even more, just concrete
That
for
more
us to
real.
see. Yes.
And
So-
the visual I did we actually said it in the subway. So kind of a nod back to that time. So hoping people check it out. They correlate the story to that, you know. But it was very special.
So, for upcoming artists, what advice would you give to them? Those who are trying to get started and looking at you and saying, you know what, you started off young and you started way back with the choirs and the whole story that you shared with us.
Yeah.
What piece of advice would you give?
Wow. Um, a critical lesson in my life has been that God's pace is usually slower than ours. When you really embrace that reality, you're not afraid of what journey may actually mean in your life. When we have new vision or new inspiration and we're going after something, we typically are ready to see results immediately.
Absolutely.
Because we got that vision right there.
Yes.
But God's pace is usually slower than ours. So patience, perseverance, these are critical ingredients that need to be a part of your character to really see the fulfillment of the vision God has given you. Just stay at it. As I just told you, my group, we've been 20 years and we just got our first Stellar Award.
You look like you're just 20 years old. That's the whole thing. When did you start? When you were 2? No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. You're a prophetess too.
Yes.
No, but for real, just stay at it. I mean, things do happen fast too. There's a season, sometimes things are accelerated and it just goes. But sometimes it doesn't happen as fast as you want. But just because what you want to see happen isn't happening doesn't mean there isn't things happening at that moment. So I hope people really embrace that. I mean, that it's not easy. And if I heard this 20 years ago, there's a part of me that would hear it, but still be like, no, I'm getting mine now. But the reality is, don't be discouraged if it don't happen as soon as you want it to happen.
So if we can talk about the process really quick, well, we're not going to do this whole lot. The things that you did, like, going out, and I remember you were talking about you were singing here and there and in the DC area where you lived, and your name became one of those names that, if you want a good singer, if you want, invite Brandon, maybe even as much as social media. How often and how much do you use that to kind of, propel yourself to the next level in this industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's wise to utilize all the resources God gives you, and it's interesting, even though I had very good local success in the DMV area, my dream was the national stage, but sometimes your assignment doesn't fulfill your potential. That's a big one right there.
Yes.
A lot of times we feel like the potential we have is so much more, so we should be doing all these things, but Jesus was the best example of this. He could have called down angels and ended the whole scene at Calvary, but his assignment was to die. The humility in the assignment is so important. So that didn't mean that he still wasn't doing miracles and showcasing his lordship, but I don't know, just don't discount the assignment. Maybe you're just meant to be exposed on Instagram. Do it. And then the stellar stage might come 10 years from now, but stay faithful to where God has you assigned.
I love it. That's awesome. Brandon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before you go, let everybody know once again, since we're kind of, doing this whole visual thing, how they can follow you.
Yeah.
And what's coming, before you do that, what's coming up next for you? What you doing?
Wow. That's a loaded question. Well, definitely an album from my group is coming.
Oh, yeah. You and
One
One
Way is putting out an album that
cool.
actually I'm going to have After a While on that album. That's kind of the segue even into my own solo EP. So it's going to be interesting. The rules of the game have changed so much. Every day you wake up and there's a new trend or a new wave you're jumping on. So we're kind of going with that at the moment. But new music for sure. I'm also really putting on my entrepreneur hat these days. You talk about inspiring the people behind me. I want to be a part of doing for people what I always wanted to happen for me. Someone to see me and say, I want to help. So I have my own label, Tommy Entertainment.
Okay. Yes.
OMII, Tommy, which TOM stands for The One Way Movement to the second generation. I got to tell that story another time. But I'm really excited about this venture where not only music, but I want to make movies and films. So I have a lot of
Yeah,
aspirations.
that's what I do, right?
Yes,
Okay,
I heard
yeah.
you when you said you directed plays and such. But all of that is on the horizon, and God is sending me some really
Aw.
strategic partners right now that I can't wait to talk about it all. But things are lining up. But it's even that I've been in conversations for 6, 7 months, just talking again about God's pace not always
Mhm.
being as
Yes.
fast as you want it to be. But I promise if you see it through, it will be better than what you could do on your own. So that's that. But people can stay connected on Instagram. My personal page is at Brand Camphor, BrandCamphor. My group page is at BC, as in Brandon Camphor, the number one way, BC One Way, bconeway.com. And if you go on YouTube, type in Brandon Camphor, and probably both of the pages will come up. Lots of visuals for you. Remember, I want to make film, so I started with music videos, just having fun with that. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And every, I don't know, TikTok, Tutok, everything that they got, we're on it. I promise.
I hear you. Brandon, thank you so very much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having me. I
You're
mean
more
it.
than welcome. Absolutely. We'll connect again.
Yes,
very
don't be the
soon.
last time.
Absolutely.
We'll be 2026 Stellar Award winners.
Yay! Go ahead. Say
Speak it. Amen.
All right.